Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I think we're getting close to the end. So, a little bit of new news on the New Game Plus mode. So, things that will be coming over and things that won't. For sure, your experience level and your number of crowns will come over. And then it says in the list, and this is probably because they're a Polish company, CD Projekt Red is, and it's getting lost in translation. Items, except for trophies and uh, usable items and quest items and uh, books. But alchemy quests, alchemy in, things will carry over. So, in that sentence, it said items will travel over except for usable items. So, what's a usable item? Isn't everything in this one usable, and everything in this one usable, and everything, and these are quest items, so nothing there. These would be usable in a sense, but you can't actually use them. These are usable in the sense, but you can't actually use them. And books will be gone. So you're talking maybe 2, depending on how you translate that. I don't think equipment will come over. I think that would be a strange way to do it. I'm not even sure this will come over. This useless, maybe mutagens won't, but everything else will. I'm not sure any of that will come over. I'm not sure really any items are gonna come over. When you really start to think about it, your level comes over unless you're below level 30. And if you're below level 30, you get bumped up to 30. How you would be below level 30 is a question on itself. And most of these things were achieved by purchasing them at stores or finding them. So are we gonna just get to keep those because it would be too difficult to go through the inventory? I don't think I have a specific piece of paper for every diagram I purchased. I think once you get a diagram, you keep it. And that would make sense. So,
Yippee! The Witcher killed a monster!
yippee, the Witcher killed the monster. Basically what that indicates is that they haven't quite figured it out. And there's no release time for the New Game Plus announced, but it probably will be pretty soon. As soon as they figure it out and get it all working. So, we are ready to let Avlok here know we are ready to go. Everything's been prepared. Let's go continue the story.
Yes, Geralt?
Say we use the Sunstone, what's then?
Once we use the Sunstone, what makes you think Eredin won't figure things out? I doubt he'll think the Elves of the White Fleet suddenly long to see him.
We can alter the signal emitted by the Sunstone. Unlikely Eredin will recognize its origin. It's not the only artifact to possess this power.
There are others? Great. Now mind telling me why I had to scour Skellige looking for this one?
The Sunstone was the easiest to find, believe me.
Before we
So
do
long.
this, let's just talk to Ciri
Got a minute?
Of course.
and
I should go.
All right. We'll talk later.
Yennefer
Geralt,
Thanks, Yen. See you later.
and Triss.
Well,
Trista won't even talk to me. Okay. There's nobody in here. There's...
probably attached to
Oh,
you.
hey, they're up here.
What?
Boring
Want a
as
cracker?
fucking shit.
What do
What's up,
you want?
Philippa?
Farewell.
And talk to
Garrett.
Margarita.
What can I do for you?
Farewell, Rydo.
Here, it's like we're just saying goodbye
Yes,
to
Geralt?
everybody.
So long.
This is like we're saying goodbye since probably somebody's gonna end up dead. There's nobody to talk to.
Yes, Geralt?
Let's do it.
We found the Sunstone.
Gelban's gift to Dillion of the White Fleet. As legend has it, she never used the stone, and Gelban died of sorrow.
Won't keep Eridan waiting that long.
It seems we've everything. We can go. Keep in mind, once we commit, there'll be no returning.
I'm ready. High time we set sail. Undvik awaits.
In that case, let's go.
So they say something like that, but then they don't pop up a save option. Interesting. There's really nothing more that can be done in this run, this game.
You will position yourselves on the cliffs. Here, and...
Thank you. I believe we know how to form a circle.
Even those of us who lack eyes for the moment.
I simply wish to avoid... Oh, Geralt. We were waiting for you.
That's waiting.
Really? Seems to me you'd started already.
We were discussing questions of a magic nature, nothing of great interest to you.
Right. 'Cause I'm just a simple witcher.
Don't worry. Simplicity has a charm all its own.
You were about to explain your plan?
It's simple, which does not mean it will be easy to execute. I shall activate the Sunstone. If Caranthia answers the call, the Nargle Fair should appear in the bay shortly afterwards.
Is that the,
The
name
logs
of
must
the
then
ship?
prevent the ship from returning to the world of the NL, while the Imperial fleet blocks its escape by sea. The 7th Imlet's infantry regiment under Duke Varatra must then board it, with your help, naturally.
What about you? Where will you be?
Waiting in reserve. If something goes wrong, I shall react.
Like a general commanding troops from a hilltop? Gonna signal us by horn or use messengers?
Exquisite irony, but what did I do to deserve it? Have I given you cause to doubt my intentions?
Ladies and gentlemen, less talk, more action, please. Sisters, we must scale the cliffs.
Good luck.
Plan's missing one important element. What about Ciri?
Cyril will wait, at a safe distance from the Nargle Fair.
Yeah, I think that was a no, I won't.
Wild guess? Not what you had in mind.
No, I wanted to go with you. That was my idea.
But I won't allow it. Far too great a risk.
I can't say he's wrong. I really can't.
Well, can't say you're wrong there.
I thought I could at least count on you to treat me seriously.
Never treat you any other way. You know that. You can't defeat Eridan. Don't stand a chance. Damn it, I don't know if I can. So stay away from him. Far away.
Cyril, do you swear to stay on shore?
Do I have a choice?
Where are you going?
For a walk. Or is that not allowed either? Because I could break my leg.
Oh yes, The elder blood can be fiery.
Didn't sound convinced.
No. But I can't very well tie her up and teleport her away, can I?
Definitely advise against trying that.
Time is short. If you wish to do something, brew your substances or whatnot, do it now. You won't get the chance later. I shall await you by the boats, amongst the soldiers.
What's weird is the Iron Hunt is basically just humans, so all I can use is
Yen,
hangman's.
why are
women.
you here?
To see you.
Something happened?
Not yet, but it might soon. We may not survive this. In fact, our chances are slim.
This could easily be Triss.
Well, we are here to battle Eredin and the Wild Hunt at full strength. Could be like Sodden. Could be worse.
Nothing could be worse than Sodden was. Listen to me. Once it's over, if we survive, I wish to leave, go far away, and I'd like you to come with me.
That's odd. It felt
Where?
Wherever. To Povis, beyond the Dragon Mountains, Zerrikania even. As far as possible from politics, plots, and so-called high society.
You? Dropping plots and politics for good? You're in your element in that world. It's your life.
Time to start anew.
I'll believe it when I see it. Even now you're up to your neck in it.
Yes, but only to set matters straight. To be able to withdraw having retained the upper hand.
What then? A small secluded hut with a flower garden to tend to?
Why not, if that is what you dream of? We shall leave together. Go where we please, do whatever strikes our fancy.
This is funny.
So? Coming with?
This is really ironic. I think she's under a spell. Because this is exactly what Philippa Einhart wanted. I guess I'll go. Why not?
I'd go anywhere with you.
The answer I was hoping for. Go, Geralt. Avalak awaits. And don't get killed, Witcher.
Yeah. There definitely is a problem with the Wild Hunt in the story. On thin ice. Because if we think about it, witches are supposed to be all about killing monsters. And at least for the second game and the third game, our main boss is not a monster at all. So we're looking for a hanged man's venom, I suppose. I don't even know why we had the potion from Tyr now lie. That never even came into any actual use. Here we go. That's about all we can do. Where are we? This isn't... I mean... They've created just, I suppose, a new overlay for this area. And I didn't realize the Emperor was going to fight along our side this much. I mean, he was willing to bring, if I brought Siri to his castle to protect her with his army, but he never said anything about this.
In Penasa Trill ep Angra in Hrek, ep Oskomra.
We do have a, let's see, quartermaster.
To spy or haggle?
Spy. Alright, let's see what he's
Show
got.
me where you're battling.
We can sell that. Would be a little ironic if he actually had anything of value. Be nice if we would find somebody, somewhere, that could actually accomplish what we were trying to get. Oh man, I think if you remove the upgrade, you'd have to remove them all, wouldn't you? That's not something I'd be willing to do. And as far as this crafting, I guess I can upgrade these rune stones. I wish these things were better stacked. They need to get rid of the diagram because it doesn't matter that it's a diagram. They need to be like listed alphabetically, but then have greater after the end of it. Because then it would be a lot easier to get all of this to work. So I just wanted to look at his weapon level. This is a journeyman. Okay. We already see what he is. He's not a master. He could repair things. And then anything greater we can sell. Axie. I don't think Axie is the one. I think Quinn is the one we're trying to get. I know it's not Ard we're trying to get rid of. Get rid of that. It's not Yarden.
So long.
So there was a big chunk of money I just wasted. Of course, I probably should just sell the other graders too, because I already have.
Are you here to spy or haggle?
Actually, never mind. I'll just keep them in case I ever want to make a woven set over some other set. And it doesn't seem like there's really anything here in this location. This was probably just an empty city that they filled with people, which is fine. We don't need yet another city that has anything interesting or full of. We'll save our game. That sounds like a good idea. Full of quests.
So, Geralt.
Be nice if we had
Ready?
more quests. This is the third time it has said, "Are we ready?"
Let's get these bastards.
With pleasure, Geralt. With pleasure.
Quest failed, reason of state. What do you mean, I failed? What does that mean? Let's do something here. I'm just gonna skip all these for a second. And then I'm gonna load the game back up that we were just at.
The king of the Wild Hunt sailed aboard the Nagel Fair, a giant longship that
How could we have
traveled
failed
between
reason of
worlds.
state?
As Gels had advised, the
That's
Witcher set out to
a
find
quest
the
we had
Sunstone,
already
an artifact
finished.
needed to draw Eredin
Is
into
this a
trap.
bug? Oh, come on. So I have to go back 3. Darn it. 1. It was a manual save on thin ice.
The king of the Wild Hunt sailed aboard the Nagel Fair, a giant longship that traveled between worlds. As Gels had advised, the Witcher set out to find the Sunstone.
So,
Is it true?
quests, secondary quests, Witcher contracts, completed. Kill the... We missed a part of that one. This is probably as decent of a place as any to look over all these quests. Just to go and show how many quests there really were. If it has a little green check mark, you can only assume you did every single sub-objective, or just actual objective as they're labeled. And in most of them it would be like serious story, breakneck speed, mount another horse. Okay, I don't even remember that, but whatever. It says I finished it satisfactory. There's definitely some main story quests that have the ability to go different ways, but then there are also ones that have optional objectives that don't do anything. Get Junior, here's one where we missed a lot because you could either do this or this. You could find his hideout and search his hideout, which I guess I never even did that, but I did everything else and we got that done. This one, ask Zoltan for help. Missed that. Should have done that. Oh, I think we did ask him for help, but he couldn't help us because of the way we chose. Not that that would have really changed anything. There weren't that many guards in that prison. I think this is just defeat the Baron's men at the Nilfgaardian connection. Hunting a witch. We didn't eavesdrop and we didn't keep our distance. So now I think we've gotten to like Witcher contracts, because these seem to be sorted that way. Main story plots and Witcher contracts. Yeah, and I'm sorry, we're supposed to be playing the finishing up this game and I'm looking at the quests. You can definitely see we have done a lot. The Gwent one is the most irritating one, I have to say. They still kind of need to... interesting. Missed the part there. They need to fix their scroll a little bit here because it's not showing quite right from my resolution. That's not even in line with this section. Lord of Unvik, we did all that. Family Blade. Hard Times. The Last Wish. So that was a long time ago, if these are going in that order. Gwent Old Pals. Master Armors. Alright. Following the Thread with Lambert. I think we could have changed Lambert's story by quite a lot. Deadly Plot. Now or Never. Cardinal Sins. I would like to see what goes on with Priscilla and Dandelion. We spent so much time looking for Dandelion. It was an incredibly long amount of time. Apparently I didn't win the race on this quest. I don't think you would get anything for doing 100%. I think this is exactly the wrong kind of game that should even reward a person for achieving and accomplishing everything, because that would only be people who are saving and loading again. That it would not be any actual game player that could beat everything perfectly. Some of these options you can't even do. Tower full of mice. I think we're down to Witcher contracts. That's a DLC. One magic lamp. Return to Cookbuck Bog. Okay, those are all secondary quests. Then we have contracts here, and we didn't. When we start seeing the contracts, there's several that we didn't talk to people, and instead we just killed the creature. Kill the Catacan. Interesting. Apparently, you had 2 opportunities to kill it. But doesn't that mean I've already seen, and the only 2 I failed was Hazardous Goods and the Gangs of Novigrad, which honestly, it seems like Hazardous Goods and the Gangs of Novigrad would both have been a major story part, which concerns me that I might have done, because I failed those two, I might have cut myself out of a lot of the story, but that can't possibly be true. And I just don't see a Fair of the State. I'm sure it's somewhere around here, but I don't know how this is getting sorted. It should be somewhere in here, somewhere close to this, like Brothers in Arms Novigrad, and then Through Time and Space. It should be right here in the middle, and yet it's missing, so that's a bug. So it's just gonna say I failed it. Whatever.
So, Geralt, ready?
Boy, was that a big waste of time.
Let's get these bastards.
With pleasure, Geralt. With pleasure.
Now my fear is that we've sent Ciri alone. Reason of State. Whatever. I still couldn't find it. Is that he's getting her away from the battle so he can take her. Or do something to her, take her power from her.
I give you my heart. What kind of spell is that?
It's an old love letter. Ancient. As I said, this stone was to reunite a pair of lovers.
Never thought I'd say anything of the sort to Eredin. En verilith serenad, Ada eich blame, I may.
The elven bauble worked.
They approach.
I probably should have stayed by Ciri's side now that I think about it. Had her in the fight so I could protect her. Is that like break a leg? Break a sword? That's a really weird thought. Ooh.
Aisio, Galebuane.
Follow me. The Noggle Fair must be nearby.
I have a feeling that guy wanted to say no.
Silence. It's completely still.
It's a trap. We must flee, now.
Not this time.
Note, Ciri. You are not ready. You do not control your powers.
I'll manage.
Ciri.
Get out of my way.
Ciri. his stuff.
I'll not stop with his stuff.
He seems to be on the up and up. I guess that works. Well, she sure doesn't seem to be having a problem. I can't help but noticing that we are running pretty fast. So let's, instead of going through all these guys, here we go. So she's super overpowered from what she was. But these guys are hardly worth your time. Here we go.
Cyril, I omit.
I didn't even get it down to a quarter. Come on, just break the staff. That's all you need to do. This victory would only embolden her to go after Aridin. Oh no. Maybe I chose poorly. Maybe I killed Ciri here.
Almost, Sirach. Almost. Stjotjad.
Oh, so I was like frozen. They didn't show that part.
Witcher. So be it. Let us end this.
This is not Aridin.
Archer Vatkoy. It's not so simple. Where that came from.
Where the... We'll deal with this guy later. Kill this guy. That thing just died on its own. Man, this seems really easy. Are we just so overpowered now? Or did they make the final battles easier? make sure people can do it. Oops. That's no good. I'm gonna get eaten by a shark. Did he teleport me in the same world, or am I now? In a different world? I can't help but notice it looks like there's a lot of fire there. On thin ice, swim to the surface. A little disconcertingly jumping to cutscene from action scene. That fight was way too easy. Sure, I cheated a little bit there. I didn't focus on his summoned enemies, but... to her. Why didn't he yell out to her? This is where you get into the real decision. Do you try to protect Ciri or do you try to kill Eredin? Aboard the Nagle Affair, which is apparently the name of the ship.
Have you seen Ciri?
She was with your help. Push her in the sea.
Let's not waste our time running, because this is the same thing over again. I mean, I could sit here.
Who wants to taste Skelliger seal?
Yomer, you seen Ciri?
By the Nagelfire! We'll drown all you bastards till the bay is flat with your corpses!
Yeah, this is just a run situation. We could sit here, do things like that, do fatal blows. Strange that Hound is not taking a lot of damage there. This is not taking much damage. But the quick attack seems to work fine. Saw Crot. It's not really unsurprising that he would die. And look, this is a pre-rendered scene, so no question there.
Any last words?
Set the trap. Fight.
You had your chance.
Witcher. I was hoping you'd come.
Because
I've something to tell you. But I'll do so afterwards.
As you expire.
This is a little closed-in area to be fighting. Final fight. See, I still can't shake the thought that I was in charge of the Wild Hunt when I was with them. Possibly, I was the one that killed the king. Oh, I didn't even know he had this ability. Bomb. Like that?
Not bad.
Come on, how about we dodge some of these? I can't get out of this. This thing is killing me. I can see him.
What now, you piece of filth?
How about some bombs? A little bit of that. Guys, it's not helping me. Find him. The teleporting aspect of that is part of the problem. He's almost dead, and this has not been that final conclusive battle that I had hoped for. I would have hoped for a little bit more. Maybe I'm just overpowered, but they need to kind of really balance that. Look at this. There you go, off the side. What, throw me off the side? And he's run out the door, so I'll go with him. Notice we had to get back to this whole section, otherwise there would be no way for me to get back to the world. Oh. They should have had us come back to this world about halfway through, but they realized that this boat was too small of a location. They should have just fixed it. So we could have actually fought on the boat better. With Eredin gone, assumedly the other guy's gonna take over.
You said you had something to tell me.
Alvalag has tricked us both. He set us against each other, and he's made off with Cyrilla.
I don't believe you.
I don't know if he really tricked me. I figured that's what he was gonna do. Okay, that was a little weird. She touched them, they disappeared in front of the portal instead of just pulling them back into the portal.
Where's Ciri? What? There's thought you knew.
All I know is Avalok might have betrayed us. What the? That a storm?
Geralt, look!
So water seems to be splashing up from nowhere.
What the hell's happening?
I find it damned hard to believe, but the gate between the worlds is open. We must reach the tower, quickly. Stop Avalok, while this can still be reversed.
What can we expect?
What are we gonna find there?
If the tomes are to be believed, nature's laws will cease to hold. Gravity, time, Undvik, all of it will be turned on its head.
Exaggerating for effect, right?
Not one bit. The conjunction of spheres has begun. The worlds, they're aligned, permeate one another. Avalok could use this. Bring the NL here, or something far worse.
At least we know we're serious.
At least we know where to look for Ciri.
Follow me, and stay alert.
Oh really? We're not gonna travel
We
through a
need to
portal?
focus on Ciri. What do you think Avalok wants from
We
her?
must stay together!
Okay.
Geralt! Stay close!
Maybe I can run ahead and get her to start walking. We got a problem here.
Stay together!
Okay, we'll stay together. We're together. Yennefer, we're together. This is bad.
Geralt! Stay close!
I guess we'll just run this way.
Shit. An earthquake?
We must hurry. Damn it! Shit! We must stay together!
Hopefully we'll get to a section where she just gets loaded next to me. Hey, this was the ship he was building for the end of the world. Because it's not gonna survive. So, I think if we just stay on the path, hopefully we'll hit something. Which way are we going? This way. Opportunity to kill a Cyclops. I'll take it. Oh, another Cyclops. How many Cyclops is there? I just got hit head on Cyclops are coming through the portal. Ice giant. What the heck is that thing? Forktail. This is cool. Nothing in the ice giant that's supposed to drop. We gotta get out of here though. Well, we could just die, that's one way. Hopefully Yennefer won't be bugged. This puts us fighting monsters. Great. Yennefer is still way back there. So let's just stay on the path this time. the map. Yennefer is way back there. I'm going the wrong direction almost certainly. Seems like I can go anywhere on the island. Gee, can I fast travel? Can't do that now, of course. I can't help but feel I need to be going a different direction. That tower is that way. Okay. Let's try this checkpoint.
The king of the Wild Hunt lay defeated. As to Ciri with her exceptional gift.
With
her
Yennefer
story was
fighting
hardly
by
done.
my side, it would
The
be a lot
sorceresses
easier.
helped the Witcher determine that Ciri and Avalach were somewhere on Undvik. Geralt and Yennefer set out to find them.
Come on, game, load, and hopefully, please work.
We need to focus on Ciri. What do you think Avalok wants from her?
Same as Eredin, I imagine. He will use it to open a gate between the worlds.
What if he's using her to close the gate?
Earthquake.
We must hurry.
What if she is willingly?
That ship's about to disintegrate.
Could have looted that guy. So it's gonna be a lot easier now with Yennefer actually following. Let's go ahead and drink our swallow since we took a direct hit there. Actually, we need to have our queen going.
Grab the horse. We'll save time.
Yeah, no real surprise there that we were gonna get on this horse. Which way we go?
I don't know.
Where is she? I gotta stay with her, and she's not staying on any path. Come on, horse, jump over. And this is why I couldn't find my way before.
More on the way.
Must find the gates between the worlds.
Tremors are getting worse.
Not much time.
So do all monsters come through spheres originally?
Go, go.
And then I assume, well, I guess that was what I thought, is that they came through the spheres and the first conjunction sphere.
What happened to them?
The white frost.
But it seems like the,
Damn it. It buries.
Wait. Navares Tavel. Keep near me.
oh, she would have been useful last time I was here. So this white frost is just like a snowstorm that apparently has been raging for decades, if not millennium. And it is super cold.
Not bad.
However, whatever shield she's put on is not strong enough to heal me up. And I only one more swallow. It's not great news. We might have a bit of a difficult fight after Avalok with Avalok. So I've used my grenades things. This guy is so far away. Get out there and hit him after getting the snowstorm. Might as well just start drinking. I think we've been to this area before. It was all closed off.
The tower with a magic barricade.
Can you dismantle it?
Dismantle? No, I can make a tear at best, but only for a moment because there's no...
Specifics, Yen. Will we both get through?
No! You must go alone!
I'll come back. With Ciri.
I know! Agarid! Tiggy! Agarid! Now, Geralt!
Would this be Triss?
I'm fine! Now go! And give Avalok my heartfelt regards!
Would that be Triss, or would that still be Yennefer? There are certain parts in particular that feels like it would be Yennefer no matter what. Oh, I guess I never have been to this place. Or at least close enough to that sign. You have to get really close. What if we just meditated for an hour? Can't do that now. Interesting. The game that's all about meditating and being prepared has thrown me through a series of events, and now that I am not prepared. So, let's see. We have a bunch of these. Wait a minute, how are those all full now? They say they're full. That doesn't make any sense.
Geralt. So unfortunate. I'd hoped you wouldn't have to witness this.
Where's Ciri?
Nearby. Listen.
Shut up. I've heard enough of your bullshit. Draw your weapon. Let's get this over with. Spare you.
I think you will not attack one unarmed.
Wouldn't be so sure. I'm in a foul mood.
I am not your foe. I am merely helping Cirilla.
I don't believe you. Can't. Not after all that's happened.
Will you believe me? Avalok speaks the truth. I asked him to help me open the tower, because I aim to enter it.
Why would you do that?
Why the hell would you do this? The Wild Hunt's been defeated.
The White Frost has not. The prophecies are true. I have seen worlds bound in ice. I know what awaits you. Only the Elder Blood can stop the White Frost. Only I can stop it.
I don't care, let's go. You don't have to make this sacrifice. There's no annihilation coming. Avalok put nonsense in your head. Well, I guess you don't have to make this sacrifice.
You don't have to make this sacrifice.
You're wrong. The White Frost is inevitable. It will come to freeze the worlds one after the other, eradicating all life. Only I can stop the destruction. I've given it much thought and made my decision.
There's gotta be another way.
What can you know about saving the world, silly? You're but a witcher. This is my story, not yours. You must let me finish telling it.
Isn't the White Frost just like the fact that
Don't do this to me. Please, not now.
Girl, believe me. A tavern, old wine, our boots drying by the fire. I'd like nothing better. I can't. I must try. For you, Yen, Triss, for everyone. Keep your fingers crossed.
Is the frost a sentient thing, or is it some kind of magical storm? I don't know what it is. We never got an explanation. So how is she stopping it? What is she doing? And why did she have to open the conjunction of spheres to go? Why couldn't she just teleport herself to this place? I'm getting left with a lot of questions here. This is supposed to be the wrap-up. Guess it's a magical storm. Notice that all those events happened in the third act relatively recently. We could have changed some of those, but that was only 3 minutes. I don't think we could have done it any differently. I don't think anything would have changed. We're back to White Orchid several months later. We haven't been here to actually do anything in a very long time. It's snow. Is it winter or is that the White Frost?
Yeah, I might believe you if you showed me a pair of monogram Baptiste Galligaskins.
More likely, you just say I stole them.
Dimwits.
You were supposed to be somewhere?
I was. Fine.
Where will you meet?
Near the huntsman's cottage.
Always had a soft spot for me. He could sense
Something
I was a
ends,
candidate.
something begins.
A man of
Talk to the
peace.
hunter.
Good natured, like himself. Would have never crossed his mind to disown
So
me if it
it's
wasn't
amazing
for
I'd
that
even
plan
be
I
allowed in
put
White
in
Orchid because remember me and Vesemir slaughtered a bunch of people right here because they wanted to pick a fight.
Gun cold.
Hey! Bloody hell! Ow!
Winds howling.
A faithful friend.
God's eye above, Emperor far
Catch the
away.
runaway horse. Alright. Why are we getting quests this late in the game? That is really strange.
To think the nag would know me after all these years. They're smart, grow attached, a bit like people. Saw officers weep for their fallen mounts, though wailing women and crying babes didn't move them one bit.
Been away long?
A year. Not quite. But it feels like more, let me tell you.
They force you to join?
Nah, I was eager to fight. Thought I'd bring home more than just the scars on my back. Did see a chunk of the world, though. Some mammoth battles, a few famous generals from afar, and lots of horsens. Didn't see the Emperor take Novigrad, but I don't regret it. Beautiful city. But I wonder what awaits me back home.
Which side you fight for?
Like most, my own. Fought to stay alive. Dying's all the same. Dirt and shite, be it under the Redanian eagle or the Imperial sun. No glory in it.
So, it's a little weird we're getting this wrap-up of the war from just a nameless warrior, but whatever. It looks like the Emperor took over Novigrad. He probably took over everything.
Glad to see the horses in good hands.
The best. His owners. Do you miss me, Golden, huh? Do you miss me?
I'd say he did. Bolted off soon as he sensed you. Toppled anyone in his way.
Do you mark anyone calling after him? Ploughing armpits or some such? But one man here curses so odd, my neighbour, Mirko. Gave him Golden to care for when I left. Ought to go see him, must be worried. Here. Token of my appreciation for running after Golden, to see he was all right. Bark on the trees again.
Strange. We did get some items. This, like, Havankaria sword, which maybe that was Avalok's sword. He didn't betray us. I'm not super surprised about that, but it is a little bit surprising. It seemed pretty heavy-handed what they were going to do, but there have been points in this where the heavy-handed did seem most realistic. Do we have any points to spend? Technically we do, for what we're at. We're at level 35 too, where most game reviewers beat the game, and this seems like just winter. You can see they had planned to have a whole season system, but they had, I guess they had to wait till at the end of the game.
Thought you'd clear the area of beasts your last time through.
Rabbit hunting this time around.
Ah, so that's it. Maybe you come round, visit us this eventide. Verka's baking a pie.
I don't know if...
As you will. You're always welcome.
So it seems like everybody here is really happy for me to be here now. What was this? Honeycombs wanted. We'll pay top coin to Maria the herbalist. I got some honeycombs, I think.
Looking for trouble?
And look here. All of a sudden, this board says there's stuff, but I can't interact with it, and there's nothing on there. Interesting.
He's gone.
Mad she had to wait.
No, eager to roam the fields. Prepared the cover scents and oiled the jaw traps all by herself.
Make a good hunter, wouldn't she?
Nah, too impatient, that one. Probably snatching rabbits barehanded, putting them in the traps because they're too slow to step in themselves.
Where'd she go?
Not far. Over yonder.
Farewell.
So, the she here is probably a little girl, but how could it be a little girl? Geralt is sterile, unless Yennefer fixed that for him. So either I've picked up some little girl somewhere, or that really is Yennefer. But I doubt it's gonna be Yennefer. This, I have to say, does look great. For this to be in the game and we're at the end and now we're seeing this, what a waste of visual assets. To just, they probably only did White Orchid and they probably only really did the things that you would happen to see on these little few wrap-up quests. But if the whole game is eventually even going to look like this, that's going to be really great looking. To have a summer, a fall, a spring, and a winter. Hey, it is Siri. Wow. So am I gonna be dreaming? Or did it really work?
Not up to hunting rabbits anymore?
Not really.
What now?
Nothing. Just sitting, waiting for you. It's nice here.
I'll wait till you see Dol Blethana in winter, and the Blue Mountains. We'll head east soon as the snow melts. Think we might have settled in a bit too much.
You promised to show me that griffin's nest before we left. Let's go now.
You actually interested?
Absolutely. You said it yourself. A royal griffin's a rare sight.
Not that rare. Venture to say we'll have to slay a couple more before we get back to Kaer Morhen. But if you want to see the nest, it's just up the hill.
Come.
So does she still have her power? Or did she lose it somehow in that fight?
We were supposed to train today.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow at sunup then? Work you hard like I did in the good old days. Probably been a while since anyone showed you just how much you still have to learn.
Strange phrasing.
Almost there.
It'd be a nice wrap up if we go fight a royal griffin, but it will be so easy. It'll be so easy unless it's like a level 35 royal griffin all of a sudden. But there was that creature in Skellig that we still couldn't beat that. Maybe we'll see an egg there. We never did. They never did do anything with the monster eggs. If witchers were smart, they would hatch the eggs and keep the monsters around to give them work. A little dishonesty there, but that's like fresh blood.
Careful now.
This is no time for you to lecture me.
Ciri, wait. There's something in there.
We really don't need to play hare and hounds.
Ciri.
She still has her power. It's just a fork there. There he goes.
What?
A hair faster. That's all it needed to be to rip your shoulder wide open.
But it wasn't, and it didn't. We killed it. What is this about?
You're angry. Wanted to unload. but be that careless and next time.
Don't you understand? There won't be a next time.
Ciri, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, it's not a good time.
Wanna head back? All right, enough. Let's go fishing.
What does she mean there won't be a next time? Has she traveled to the day I die?
We bring Dandelion a nice fat perch and he just might forget about the rabbit stew.
Or is she dying?
Shame he didn't come along. He could use a bit of exertion.
Huh.
So I don't know if this is a dream sequence, if she has traveled through time and this is before she went to the tower.
Ice shouldn't be too thick here.
She is wearing the same clothes, but so am I.
How exactly do you plan to catch anything?
You'll see.
Throw a bomb in there. A little grape shot fishing. I don't think Ciri can see the future. If she could see the future, she would, by some arguments of how you see the future, be able to avoid it. Although, there's certainly equally as many people who, in stories, who can see the future but can't change it.
I'll be damned.
Should we go?
No, no way. Lake's gotta be full of perch, bream, or pollard. Fresh pollard. Would you like that?
I wouldn't mind some, but do we plan to wait here until he leaves?
No, we'll scare him off.
How?
I'll improvise. Wait here.
What are we scaring off? A bear? Throw a bomb to scare off the bear. I could just go kill that bear. And...
An old witch's trick for tough winters. Not terribly subtle, but...
Effective.
Remember, don't ever do this.
Why show it to me at all, then?
Just in case. Never know what could happen on the path, what could save your life.
And we collect the fish. Dead fish. Dead fish. Dead fish. Dead fish.
All right, let's go.
Who
Maybe
taught you that?
Just hallucinating.
Vesemir. A long time ago.
How long?
Very. Back when I wanted to call myself Geralt Roger Eric Duot Belagarcy.
What?
Tell you about it tonight.
And about the time you broke your leg after wagering you jump off the roof of Kaer Morhen and land a horse's back?
How do you even know about that?
Eskel told me. But I want to hear you tell it. I'm certain you have a rational explanation. You never gave me piggyback rides at Kaer Morhen, remember? Vesemir was the only one willing.
Had to wait till now to remind me? You've put on some weight since Kaer Morhen. Hey.
Is his medallion vibrating because of a visual glitch or because he's under like a spell?
We should get back.
Probably visual glitch.
Remember me training on the pendulum? How I feared I'd never manage. Yet you forbade me from giving up. I was black and blue practically all the time. That pendulum was a nightmare.
How can I forget?
Those months at Kaer Morhen, they passed so quickly.
Where could we go with the story on The Witcher?
I wish we'd spent more time together then.
I still would want to play as Geralt. I still feel like there's improvements that could be made. Even if this is the end of the book series, I think they could continue with it in the game series easily. Just find a new bad guy and keep on doing as much as you can. I wouldn't mind playing as Ciri. I wouldn't mind if next game you could play as Ciri or Geralt. That would be fun. I wouldn't mind if you could play as Ciri, Geralt, or Yennefer, for that matter. It would, all of that would be fine. Playing as the Sorceress would be a definitely different type of game, but it would have to be a strange combination of, like, of stuff, a Sorceress and Witcher, because you still want the two swords thought somewhat. You still want some of the potions, some of the bombs. Everything you see on the screen right now is what I'd want to keep. What I'd want to get rid of is a lot of the looting and excessive crafting, excessive alchemy stuff. Oh. So her father's come for her. Well, at least that's better than her dying.
Almost managed to forget it was today. They're here for me, Geralt. I'm going to Nilfgaard, to Emir. I know you didn't expect this, but in Vizima, my father and I spoke for long. Argued, really, and parted. Then a messenger came with a letter. I didn't say anything at first because I wasn't sure, and then I realized I had to stop fleeing. I realized that if I wish to change anything, I cannot do so hunting monsters round forgotten villages. I must do so from there, from Nilfgaard.
You could have told me.
You could have told me, warned me.
I wanted to, but I didn't know how. I've been happy here. I was afraid I'd ruin it. I wanted to make every minute count.
So, back at the nest, I was about this. I didn't pry, didn't want to force you to tell me. Thought we had time. A lot more time. You make this choice on your own?
If you mean to suggest Yennefer had anything to do with this, then the answer is no.
Great. She even know?
No. And I'd prefer she not get involved this time.
I'll let you tell her that. Is this what you want?
Yes. You'll not try to stop me. Take me to the Blue Mountains by force.
Traveled half the world to find you, but I never intended to force anything on you.
I know.
You'll be fine. You're a Witcher.
We needn't say goodbye.
Of course not.
Of course we don't.
I don't know when we'll see each other again.
You know where to find me.
You can't possibly stay at Kaer Morhen all the time.
Makes no difference. You'll find me.
True.
Remember what I taught you. Never know. Could be useful there too.
little bit of a load there. Maybe a different outcome would have happened if I'd played differently. While it is slightly dangerous to become the Empress, it is also a very good thing for her, I feel. Did taking her by horse? Interesting. The butler there is just gonna walk behind the whole way. Well, I guess all the other soldiers there are marching too. Could we have gotten an ending where she would have stayed with us? Maybe. But I don't think so.
The Third Northern War ended. The invader from the south achieved complete victory. Robbed of Radovid's tactical genius, the northern realms could not withstand Emir's countless legions. Black banners appeared over Novigrad and all Redania. Weary of rebel raids, Emir Var-Emreis conceded, restoring Temeria as a realm in liege to the Empire. When the guerrillas laid down their arms, the Emperor shifted his forces to other fronts. Through Nilfgaard's victory, Temerians got their country back, and history, once again, proved a consummate trickster. Having dealt with Radovid, Emir of Var-Emreis did the same with enemies domestic. The Emperor's loyal spies named all who had conspired against him, traitors, soldiers, and aristocrats alike. Though their mutiny had only been a murky plan, the Emperor showed no mercy, as was his wont. While the continent lay engulfed by war, Skellige bloomed under Ceres's enlightened rule. Unlike those who had come before her, the young queen did not raid foreign shores, looking instead to her people, tending to her land. The island-bound nation prospered, though its fangs of yore were dulled. After years in exile, Ciri returned to Nilfgaard, her paternal home, where Emir prepared to name her his successor. The woman had the necessary qualities. From her father, she'd inherited an empress's political instincts. From Geralt, she had gained a sense of simple human decency. Few monarchs boast both traits, which is quite a shame. While monarchs moved borders and populations, Geralt and Yennefer lived a calm, quiet life, far from all things political. They breakfasted well afternoon, more often than not in bed, and passed the days on lazy strolls and long conversations. Boring, you say? Perhaps. But both had sought this more than anything else.
Well, I can't help but say, that was the good ending. That seems to have definitely been the good ending. Now, this whole wrap up in this style never really played right. It never came off at the end of conversations to kind of wrap up conversations. It would happen just right as something was spoken. It's real rough. I wouldn't mind it being in A Witcher 4, which hopefully there is a Witcher 4, but I don't know how you're gonna do it now. I think maybe you have the whole trilogy thing here. Maybe it is best. Oh, is that Zoltan? Ooh, I hope that's not Zoltan getting burned at the stake. That would suck. And who is that? Are they executing the sorceress? And who is that guy? I don't even know. Maybe you start with a new Witcher. You figure out how Lambert and Kira met. They figure out how to have a kid, and you have a kid. Or it turns out Lambert and Kira Metz figure out how to make Witchers unsterile, and they make Geralt unsterile, and then Yennefer has a kid. Either way, then has a bloodline to the Witcher. You could also just have any kid whatsoever become a Witcher. Anybody, I mean, can be trained to be a Witcher, and it could be just no bloodline falls through it either. There was no bloodline really for Ciri and Geralt. Or it could be that the Witchers all die out and somebody just takes on the mantle of a Witcher and doesn't even have the mutations at the beginning of the game, which would be kind of cool if somebody young decided to do that. There was definitely, from what I've heard, some major character flaws in Geralt of Rivia. Even in this game, where they make him a lot more likable and personable, if I had made other choices and been a jerk and slept around and done all of that, then I could definitely see not liking him as a character. With just getting these same pictures, which that's Horse and Doo-Doo looking like that guy. Did we wrap up everything? I mean, we got Temeria freed, but Novigrad got taken over. Everybody who was against the Emperor got killed. I have a feeling that was always going to happen, though. Very much in the end of the second Witcher 2, you were shown an ending where the Nilfgaardian Empire attacked. And so you thought for a long time it was going to be Temeria versus another country, I don't even remember the name, and you played the whole game in Temeria fighting against this other country, and all of a sudden the Wild Hunt in the end credits basically attacks, and Nilfgaardian attacks and takes over the whole country. And there was no choice. Really, no decision would have changed that. They have to get to at least something stable. They can't have one ending where Nilfgaard wins and one ending where Novigrad wins. Novigrad was never going to win. It was simply a city, not an entire country. Skellig, surprisingly, does make out alright. I thought Skellig would get taken over too, but it seems like he dropped that attempt or just was fought back. Wouldn't surprise me really if in a Witcher 4 Skellig and Nilfgaard was still fighting at it. The next Witcher would almost certainly happen like at least 80 years from now. It could happen the very next day or a year from then. I really hope that's not Zoltan that got burned. That would suck. There's like no reason why that would be the case. So I don't want to get too much on my critique of this game. Obviously, if this is the last one you've seen, the first episode of mine you've seen, or if you've missed some episodes, go back and watch it. I've been making commentary lightly throughout the whole series, every episode. But I don't want to get into the commentary of the systems. Obviously, I can't say this is a bad game, but I can certainly say it's a buggy game. We had the bugs right up till the end. we almost got, with the 1.07 patch, a complete and total like game-breaking bug where I was very close to the point where I was not going to be able to play the game anymore. And I would just have to put a video up saying, yeah, I'm done with it. I can't do anything more. But fortunately, I was able to fix it by reinstalling it, which while reinstalling it put the video settings down to default, which was the real problem. This game looks so great. I want every single Telltale game that ever comes out again to look as good as this game does. And why I'm specifically saying Telltale games is because they are almost completely cutscenes, and it would work really well. I also want every other game to look this good. I want games to look as good as they can be. But for all the praise that I have to put on that I put on this game for its appearance, they lose a lot of it when their video rendering and their hair works and all the way items such as the character's hair or their helmet or their necklace or the broom in their hand just fades in several seconds after the cutscene starts is a problem. The amount of in-engine cutscenes in this game is way, way too high, and they should have just pre-rendered things, figured out ways to not do it in engine. That's where this game is huge, so it probably would be even huger if they had pre-rendered videos. But whatever, I mean, who cares? If you're gonna take up 40 to 80 gigs on a hard drive for one game, which I think is about how much this takes up, somewhere around there, why not put another 40 gigs of video? And I couldn't imagine it would be much more than 40 gigs of pre-rendered video files instead of doing it in engine. Even if you just create it in engine and then have a custom look. The fact that your armor changes in a cutscene is, I don't think that system's worth it. I don't think alternate outfits and looking different because you're wearing different armor is worth it for all the bugs you've got. So it's really up to CD Projekt Red whether they are going to whether they would decide, do they push forward with what they have and try to get all the bugs out of it, or in the next game do they just say forget it, he's gonna have a iconic look throughout the whole game, he's gonna wear the same armor in his appearance. Now you can certainly pick up armor and improve it, that is fine. That makes no difference. There's plenty of older games where you would pick up more armor and look exactly the same. Even if they only had a lesser amount of armor, they could probably fix a lot of problems. But yeah, there's a lot of visual bugs in this. There's a lot of game code bugs in this. And I think there was even a couple audio bugs. But this is a hugely long game, and we will certainly, once we get to the end of these incredibly long credits, which I hope aren't just going in circles, we're at QA technicians now, so you can definitely feel that probably 1,000 or more people put their hands on this game as far as putting work into it, and you can definitely feel that. Arguably, I have said in the past, and I would still say it here, if you split this game into 2 or 3 games and focused more on things, because things like the looting items really never got used, and the potions and the decoctions didn't get used enough, and Spells really didn't get used that much. Every little element in the game isn't done enough. There aren't enough monsters. So if they had just split this game into 3 equal sections, you probably would have ended up with a 60 or maybe even a 20-hour game for each one that was more focused, a little bit better. And they kind of tried to do that in the acts, because there was 3 acts here, but they didn't really do it. The third act of this game considerably different than the first act and the second act. The first act is just a wide orchard, running around, learning, getting quests, doing all of that. The second act is a hugely long section in which you run around trying to get all the quests done. I am still very irritated that I cannot get to that section, that there are still question marks in this game, because I couldn't just find them. Maybe when we get out of here we will go back to the game and see where we are at. Assuming here that we will be able to run around and continue playing the game, that would be really bad if we couldn't. Yes, there was a new game plus. Special thanks to people at Nvidia. This is scrolling way too slow. Witcher 3 babies. How many babies were born while making this game? Oh wow, it is a lot. It is definitely a lot. Finally, we are at the end of the credits. Scrolling way too slow. Way too slow. Music was pretty good. It's the same old non-intrusive music. And in loving memory of one lady who apparently passed away. That was a lot of people. I wish a third or less, even maybe a fourth of those people, that amount of people worked on some of the Telltale games. And I keep going back to Telltale games because I've recently played a lot of them, and you can definitely, some of them could have used a bigger team. So go check those out. Click on my name, Rydo, click that playlist tab, see all the other games I'm doing. I will be starting a new game series, probably a pretty long one, like this one, hopefully a little bit shorter, but a major AAA game will get started replacing this one. Here it says, the story of Geralt of Rivia has come to a close. You can continue traveling the world in search of Witcher contracts and adventures, but everything will be as it was before the game's last chapter, and the quest tied to the main storyline will no longer be available. Alright. So we have the stash, and we kind of need this one, and then we need to put these in there. So there we go. This dancer sword is +6 to our feline sword, and we never got as far as crafting. If we go up to the steel swords, we never got a master crafted feline steel sword. Let's see, it should be under F. Yeah, we've never found that. Let's look at the characters for one last time. So you'd think Cerelia here, story, where does it end? Boy is that long, and boy is that not how you would want to read it. Uh, Eredin is perished, but the evil's king death only heralds the end of fairy tales in our store. This meant in our story is what that's supposed to say. Typo, can't believe that. This meant it's time for Ciri to face her destiny. Only she possessed the power to stop the White Trust being near mythical force which threatened not just that. Might not be considered, though unleashing her anger on immature objects might not be considered mature behavior, it definitely helps bring one relief. Ciri thus reached for the most simple of solutions. So did she unleash her anger at the White Storm, and that's how you beat it? Let's go to the beast here. I know I didn't look at all the characters, we'll come back to that. Except for the named beast, this list would be almost incredibly short. Every single character we only saw a couple times. We only dealt with like succubuses maybe 3 times in the whole game, trolls 3 times in the games. Some of them never dropped anything, the things we were looking for. We never did figure out what the hymn was. That only happened once. That could have happened twice. The monsters are so rare. Let's see. All kinds of tutorials, and you need all these tutorials in your game because there's just so much of it. And they could have gotten rid of horse riding, racing. While I found that kind of fun, it was definitely something that could have just been a fast travel instead of trying to do what they did. But the horse racing wasn't terrible. It got a little buggy at one point, and that was it. So, will the Wild Hunt ever come back and attack anybody else? They might, but it would probably be for a different reason instead of trying to find Ciri. Alchemy is a mess in this system. There's a total mess here in just items. You can definitely see that the quest items, the other items, other should be out the window. Alchemy and crafting stuff should be out the window. If they'd gotten rid of those 2 things, it would have been, or combined just a few. There's just way too many of these things. If there was only 5 of these things, it would make more sense. I suppose we might as well to look at the character map. Here obviously we're in Kaer Morhen. The map has problems in itself because Kaer Morhen in particular, unless there is like a reason to run around this section, which looks like you might in theory be able to do, but you couldn't get below these mountains. There might be something hidden there. There might be things hidden this way, but you never had a real reason. I can't even go this direction, so there might be something back that way. And collect them all is completely bugged as far as secondary quests. These are bugged. Faithful Friend, we beat that, and it's bugged. Skelg's Most Wanted is still bugged. And then Why did I fail this? Maybe I wasn't supposed to kill him. That would definitely have been a different story if I had not killed Radovid. That is the one failed quest that very easily could have been not. So did Vernon Roach get killed for killing Radovid? I don't think so. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. So when we take this off, what is the most powerful red I have? I have 5% attack power for those reds, but I don't think I have another greater mutation, red mutation. I have some lesser red mutations. I never really even got enough. So a lesser would give me 5%, and any of the others would give me 5%. And so I can put that and get another 5%. As far as that goes. But we are gonna... and that's what I would definitely recommend. Remember, I was overpowered with the bosses. Go with things that increases your damage. So you might have put 5 in here for strong attacks. I ended up using strong attacks in the second half of the game a lot more. You probably don't need lightning reflexes, and you definitely don't need arrow deflection. I never used it once. Then increase damage here and increase damage there would probably be good. And then I'm not sure if Undying ever actually worked. Maybe it was working the whole time, and maybe it wasn't. I didn't use Whirl. I did. I think Rend helped a lot. The counterattack system needs to be out of this game. I barely ever used it, and it was only supposed to be used against people with shields, and that people with shields need to be out of the game too. Crippling strikes, definitely. Sunder armor, absolutely. Deadly precision. Deadly precision has a 2% chance of killing an opponent instantly. If you could get to that really fast. I wouldn't probably go with any of these other ones for that. And we have the ability, fortunately, to reshuffle twice, so we'll do that while we're here. So Sun and the Stars, during the day you regenerate your point life. Only really worth it at the very beginning of the game, so I probably wouldn't do that. Survival Instinct, only really worth it at the beginning of the game, so I probably wouldn't do that. Cat School Techniques, well, each piece of light armor you wear gives you 25%. I don't know how you would play this game with medium or hard armor. You would definitely not be looting anywhere as much as me. Increased toxicity by 30 points, not really useful. Adrenaline points increase both weapon damage and sign intensity. That might be worth it. I did use that till the end of the game. And I wouldn't choose any of those. So, when we come over here and find our potion, where is it? Here it is. Potion of Clearance and Consume. All ability points are back and placed. So I have 58 ability points. What would I want? Metal armor, dealing damage to enemy permanently weakens. damage dealt by Igni melts armor. Increase sign duration by 5 seconds. Exploding shield and delusion. I would definitely do this. Unquestionably. Exploding shield, I should have been using shield a lot more. So we place that, and we place that. And then Ard, Fire Stream for Igni, Magic Trap. Creates an active shield, maintaining it blocking attacks drains stamina. So I would still increase the shield and do that. Puppet is not really necessary. So what I would start with is increasing your fire, because I did somewhat use fire. And since we still need some more points in this branch to increase that, I would use melt armor. So melt armor and fire. And I'm still a little short. I need 18 and I have 17 in this branch. So would you do Ard for a far-reaching Ard, or Puppet? You might just continue down Puppet. And then you have Quinn Intensity, which Quinn or Axie Intensity, or Jordan Intensity, or Igni Intensity. So you probably just keep on going there. So you would be playing very, very heavily into the magic here, if you were gonna choose this. I'll put this one down here. Your final thing is reflects 5% of absorbed damage. Definitely would want that. Domination, 2 influence opponents can be infected by Axie at the same time. Increase the chance of burning by 5%. So I still have 20 points available, and let's see, I've used all these slots. So we'll place that one and place that one. You can, let's see. You can definitely see that at the end of one run, you could play 3 whole rows here. I still have a lot of slots. I could do even more. You could even make 10 mistakes here. And I don't think... So I guess at 70, you're talking at least another 35 skill points. So I could see you easily filling out all of the magic, or all of the green. So we look here for the greater blue mutagens. Here's a greater blue mutagen for 10. That gives us a sign intensity of 40. Here's another greater blue mutagen for 10. That gives us a sign intensity of 40. And do I have more? Yes, I have one more. That's another 40. So we're at 120 now. And I have one more for there. And that leaves us there. Do I have another one? Yes. So no real problem there. There's another graded blue mutagen. There's another one. There's another one. I have so many graded blue mutagens. It would be really nice if they were worth a lot. So looking at the player stats, just quickly. We feel a little overburdened. When we go to Igni, that's a pretty big Igni. And if I hold this, I have the flamethrower ability for my entire stamina. Now, if we go to Quinn, you have the explosive shield, your regular shield here, which is more intense, or you can hold it and do a shield like this, and when it releases it explodes. And Axie can do that, or we can hold this and charge it up. The fact that there are things as far as secondary magic abilities that I went the whole game and never used and never wanted and never missed says something real bad about how it's just presented. Everybody, regardless of their playthrough, should have reached the secondary level of abilities. Alright, let's see, I'm trying to find a way down without killing myself so I can get to the fast travel location. They just broke through here, and they just broke through here. Interesting. I don't think there's anything here you could do. Let's look over White Orchid. Would she really buy honeycombs at a great price? I probably have honeycombs, but I probably sold them to everybody else too. This isn't gonna have us meet with Siri. I'm super frustrated about that section there. Just couldn't ever figure it out. It's gotta be bugged, I have to assume. So, when we look here, there's no new quests, but it said new quests. Oddly enough, there's no new lands. The 2 expansions that will be paid DLC, so if you still want to play it, and you can get the season pass for about $25, are going to be 2 lands that are supposed to equal up to the entire length of the game. Now, is that the entire length of the side quest or the entire length of the game plus the main quest? Not that the main quests were the most difficult or long part of the game. We never figured out how to fast travel in boats. They seem to, maybe I misread it, maybe something like that was the case. Let's fast travel to this location. At level 35, having done the whole game, there's really not a great argument that I shouldn't be able to get this guarded treasure. There's not anything more that can be done right now. Maybe once there's a patch we could do Skellig's Most Wanted, but I'm not willing to do another episode just to finish Skellig's Most Wanted. You pretty much know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna kill the werewolf and maybe the Doppler and troll, and that'll be it. There's definitely some major things missing in this game, and it's driving me a little batty that I couldn't ever make a Blizzard stick concoction, that I couldn't ever find the cave troll liver or a golem's heart. It's just the items seem completely missing. I've been everywhere. I've done everything. You'd think I would have picked one of those up at some point. If I were to play a New Game Plus on this, I would definitely kill every single monster I could kill. I would not be friendly to non-humans at all. And it seems like that would be more in line with the Witcher mentality. I played as a very nice guy, really didn't care about getting paid for killing monsters, really didn't care about whether or not whether I actually killed the monsters, as long as I just created as much peace as I could. Sadly, even in my choices, it seems like the non-humans did not fare well. Are dwarves from the conjunction of spheres too? I would think maybe they're from a different land than where the ancient elves are, but I think at some point there was just humans on this planet. And the dwarves and the elves, for the most part, figured out how to live together somewhat. I save the game in a new save. What level is it? 48. It is level 48. This makes no sense. What does the loading screen look like now? No loading screen. Interesting. So this is when you start to see just the loading screen, and it doesn't seem like it takes as long. Alright, so that's interesting that it's level 48 for this one thing. You can't get to level 48 in the first playthrough. There's no way. There is no way whatsoever to get that. And I bet that is where the Feline Mastercrafted armor is, unless it was one of these failed quests of Gangs of Novigrad or Hazardous Goods. But that wouldn't make any sense either. So we saw what you can do with the blue chain. You could get very magical if you wanted. I want to equip this, and I'm gonna equip this, and then I'm gonna drink the other potion of clearance. And let's look at the green character screen here. We're really just playing with things here. What would you choose? Heightened tolerance, so you can drink more potions. Poison blades, which I wouldn't do that one. Steady aim, time is slowed. Acquired tolerance, for every one level of alchemy, increase your toxicity by 1. What is my maximum toxicity right now. My maximum toxicity level is 100. So when I get one of these, it's still 100 until I equip this. And then it is 183. So I know 83 things. Upgrade that again. It becomes 215. Upgrade it again. And I am at 234. Apparently I don't know very many 3-level alchemy formulas. If potion toxicity is above 0, time automatically slows. Or heightened tolerance. So what is our increases overdose threshold by 5%? Where is the overdose threshold listed? I don't see an overdose threshold, but whatever, we'll try that. And then equip that. And 234 still. And 234 still. Get up there. And next thing we'd want is when consumed mutagen decoctions increases your maximum vitality for 200. That would be kind of cool. Increases the maximum vitality by 10% when toxicity exceeds safe threshold. Bombs that usually do not inflict damage deal 30 damage to an additional in addition to their normal effects. That would be interesting because some of the bombs, like the Dimetron bombs, really don't do a lot of damage. Add 5% protection against attacks from monsters type that oil targets. No, I wouldn't do that. Each potion dose heals 5% of your health. So if you start going down this way, you could drink like a Thunderbolt, and the Thunderbolt would help you. I think I would go with pyrotechnics here, if you're gonna have to pick something. But I'm not gonna equip it yet. And I think I choose this one then next, but I wouldn't equip that one either. The potion effects don't wear off until potion toxicity falls to 90% of the max. So this is pretty cool. Means if you start getting to really high in your toxicity level, your potion effects won't wear off. Increases the maximum number of bombs in each slot. Absolutely. Why not? You can do that 5 times. Have way more bombs. So if you're willing to go down this route, having more bombs would be nice. What's the next one? Upon detonation, bombs separate into explosive fragments. Nice. I could see a whole bomb thing here where they would be way more useful. This killing spree, each opponent kills. Extends duration of all mutagen decoctions by 10%. Blade oils. Let's see. Toxicity drops 1 point per second faster. I definitely have that. Embodying a potion gives a 20% chance of activating a second effect. 40% chance, 60% chance, 80% chance, and at level 5, 100% chance of a secondary effect. Ooh, nice. Extend the durations of all mutagen decoctions. So, this one is equipped, right? So the only one I haven't equipped right now is this one. For 1,000 that. And so I'd do this one too. So yeah, you could definitely go 3 levels here too. What was this? Time is slowed when aiming bombs. Yeah, you might do that, but you might not. I'd have to think about it a lot. If there was anyone I was gonna do a full combination of, it would be green and some yellows. But most of these yellows are kind of pointless. These, you could see you could get a couple of these at the very beginning of the game and you'd be fine, but I wouldn't want to spend too much of them, any more than 2 things. And in all realisticness, going with stronger attacks, just on the face of it, is better than stronger magic attacks or stronger toxicity levels and all of that. Now, we have tons of green mutagens, so the possibility that I wouldn't have a great 4 greater green mutagen is crazy. Now that was 150, but then 150 somehow got multiplied by 3 to a vitality of 900, which means doing this would actually put me at a very high health level. So conveniently we are right next to something that would be a great test to see how many hits we could take with this. At level 48 though, I don't think it's gonna matter. My vitality is at a ridiculous 6,000. I wonder what it was before. I haven't been paying really a lot of attention at that. 7,000 of that. We can rest and then check our inventory. What decoction do I have actually? Archgriffin decoction, exactly what? 9 bombs. So you can get your bombs up to 9. So we drink that Archgriffin deconcoction, and then we put our 5 superior thunderbolts in there and our 5 swallows. And I don't think we could actually do anything more. So a Demetrian bomb, look at how long that's gonna be. That says like an hour and 28 minutes on that deconcoction. Well, that got him mad. He is having trouble with it. Can I take 1 hit from this guy?
What now?
Oh yeah, I can take like 1 hit. This whole cluster bomb is nice. What if I go the grave shot? throw one of those at him. Will the swallow? Wow. So with a ridiculously high amount of vitality, you can definitely see where you're going to make out and potentially solve some of your problems. One more thing, all my character is back to its blue state. I should have drunken more. Let's see, more decoctions to see myself become more toxic while I had those skills set. Oh well. So the only thing really left to talk about, I think, is Gwent. And Gwent is just a fine game, but it is a part of the problem here. As we go over, I'll just slowly go over the Gwent cards that I collected, so you can down in the comments tell me all the ones I missed to pick up and where they are, if you feel the need for some reason. I can't get them all because of the high stakes. I'd have to play the game a second time through and save in between every victory in the high stakes quest to get all those cards, and then not spend the night with the spy so she doesn't steal my cards. Anyways, Gwent is a fine game, but it's not, it shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be as part of this this game that was too big already. It needs more polish and less I don't know, size. It needs to be smaller and more polished. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And it's, as it stands, it's an A-, I would say, if I were to give letter grades, which I don't, even though I just did. But it could have been an A+ if they had just fixed some of the bugs. And it will be a great game, probably a lot more if you were to just start playing Witcher 3 by the time you've seen this episode. They will have the 1.07 patch out, certainly. They'll probably have a 1.08, maybe a 9 or a 10 to fix all of those problems too. See, and this one more deck. I can't ask for a lot more. I don't particularly want more game. It would be a difficult decision, really, if I was to decide to get the DLC. I certainly will almost certainly get it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it early and continue this series and spend the money on that. I have a lot of other games I need to cover, and doing the DLC for this, I don't know if I'm super encouraged to do the DLC for this game, because we've seen the main story. Nothing's going to change on the main story. We've seen everything this game has to offer, and a lot of the parts that it has to offer are just inventory items and things that have irritated me at this point, other than that. So yeah, it's got some flaws. It is a flawed but great game, and I think that's as much as we can say. Let's go to the main menu just to see if anything changed here. No. It might be a good idea to not install the alternate outfit DLCs, but I would definitely want to do the new quest DLCs. Beard and hairstyle set, probably not. Nilfgaardian armor set, might be easier to not get that installed. Elite crossbow set, you probably do want it. New finisher animations, you probably want that, even though all that's going on. The Ballad Heroes Gwent card set, maybe not have that on so you can better focus on trying to get all the cards. But yeah, that's it. This has been The Witcher 3. For the last time in this series, let me ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos, because all that helps me out. Also, don't stop watching here. Click on my name, Rydo. Go to my main YouTube page. From there you can click the subscribe button. On the right you can click the support this channel button and give me a donation, which would be greatly appreciated. You can see here I did a lot of work on this game. I put a major investment on this game. In particular, I bought a whole new PC, over $1,000, just to make sure I could play this game and do this series. And still the PC needs a better graphics card, we found out. So donations will help me get new games, it will help me get better equipment, it will help me fix a lot of things. But beyond supporting and making a donation, there's that playlist tab. Click that, watch every series that interests you, or just watch every series if you would be so kind. There's a different playlist for every game that I am going to cover or am covering right now. Probably not very many playlists of things I'm going to cover. There's playlists of things I am covering or have covered. Go check those out. If you want to follow me and see what's going on with my life, the newest episodes of my Hearthstone series are what you want to watch. That's where I vlog and talk about what's going on. And if you want to friend or follow me on things like Google+, Twitter, Steam, Blizzard.net, Battle.net, owned by Blizzard, Tumblr, I think that's all that I have now, but there might be some more links down in the description. If you haven't played The Witcher 3, I think you should go buy it, even if you're not going to play it, just to support this level of ambition. The ambition is great, the quality is great, not perfect, but great, and so we need to support CD Projekt Red. Let's hope that there will be more games like The Witcher, even if it's not called The Witcher, and even if this is actually the end of the story for Geralt. This is the end of my series. I might come back and do the DLC, but for now this is the end. Thank you for watching. Thank you for going through this whole journey with me. Have a good evening.